Hey everyone, I am in Halstead, I think maybe, but it's just south of Montgomery, just a little bit. It's not very far. It's like a suburb of Montgomery, Alabama. I'll be getting on Highway 85 and then going to Highway 82 and going to Tuscaloosa. I'm 2 hours away from T-Town. Looking forward to meeting up with my daughters. So let me see where we headed here. Hopefully my directions will get me there. Probably have to go back out again, won't I? Doggone it. Where's my map? Here. Here. Tuscaloosa. Start. Turn right onto Eastern Boulevard. Okay. We're going to go 82 west, it says. No, I want to go 82 west. Because 82 west goes to Tuscaloosa. Okay, let's see where that goes. It might make it through an easier place. Up here. Whoops. We're flying out in the middle of nowhere here. Okay, now I'm back. There we go. So hopefully my map system will keep me in the right direction. I could have gone 82, but I think I went through all kinds of winding, loopy ways to get back to where I needed to go. So get on 85 to 82. It's actually easier on 85. Vaughn Road, oh yeah. Okay. This, my friends, is let's see, this is Montgomery. I'm seeing if I've been here before. This part, Eastern Boulevard. I think so, actually. I met out here one time for a rally at a meeting at a bowling alley. Somewhere around here. Huh. I think. I don't see it now. I was thinking it was in this area, but that's not it, apparently. Okay, so. Hi. Right now I'm getting ready to turn onto Vaughn Road in Montgomery. And I think Vaughn Road takes me to 85, or it's close to 85. And then 85 I'll go a couple of miles and then turn on to 82 going west to T-Town. Yay! 8:30, it's about 2 hours away roughly, so I'll be there about 10:30-ish. My daughters, if you're watching, Jordan, Kara, hi, whoever. Waiting for this long light to turn green. Don't know if we're going first or the other one. But we're intersecting is Eastern Boulevard and Vaughn Street or Road. Bum, 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 bum. Anyone around? I am in Montgomery, Alabama, the capital of the wild, wonderful state of Alabama. That is a net taker of federal funds. Complains about everybody else taking money, but they're a net taker, and it's most of the blue states that are actually net givers. So there you go, Alabama. And Governor Meemaw, if you're around listening, howdy. No, she's bad. Governor Ivy is bad, no doubt about it. But if Tupperville wins, or Tuberville, or whatever his name is, wins as governor, as current senator for Alabama, this will become hell on earth for every minority in the state. And I don't understand that. He was a coach out at Auburn. They should have fired that man, sent him packing back to Florida. That's where he's from. Bum, 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 bum. You hear the tick, 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 tick of my signal as I'm getting ready to turn left onto Vaughn Road off of Eastern Boulevard. Here we go. Let's see what it tells me to do next. Yeah. I'm not going to spend any time here in Montgomery. I've been all over this darn city, from the state house to, oh my gosh, every place around it. Oops, ding ding, Timu sent me a message. I like getting my stuff from Timu. I buy a lot of things from there, and that costs a lot either. And some things the prices went up because they have to be shipped in from overseas, so you pay tariffs and all that on them. But Timu also has lots of warehouses in the United States and lots of products still here, so you can still get a lot of things from in the U.S. that has already been brought in here from wherever they're manufactured in different places, not just China, but other places around the world. It's a huge discounter of all kinds of stuff. I bought a lot of stuff. I've never had the first issue with anything from them. Some people have. I got it. Vaughn Road Elementary School, Cottingham. I don't think I've been on Vaughn Road before, actually. Thought I had, but no. Eastern Boulevard I have been on. Vaughn Road. Does this run into 85 maybe? I don't know. Not quite sure. Is my seat hot for some reason? It feels like my seat is hot. Oh, Perry Hill Road. I know where that is. Yep, Perry Hill Road. I know exactly where that is. The VA is on one end of that. Been out there a few times. It's a really nice system too. The VA system out here. We're going to turn right on Perry Hill Road. Okay. Whoops. You're going to stop in the middle of the road. That was not a smart move there, buddy. Oh. Yeah. We're going to stay on Perry Hill Road. Oh, cool. Okay. So if you go straight, are they? Is the Google Map system taking me into downtown Montgomery? Might be. I don't know exactly. Let's see where it says to go here next. And I know you can pick up 82 on the back side down near the river down that way. Ah, we are turning 85 south. Well, the 85 south ramp is kind of occupied there. I can't go the 85 south ramp. I'm stuck. Well, I'm gonna have to turn around now and get over here because it was. I'm gonna turn left right here and go this way because I know what happened. That the concrete divider that's in the road, Google Maps didn't account for that one. That's where I am. Gotcha. I-85 south. So we're doing the other way around. We could have gone out here. At some point up through your office navigation system. So that's, yeah, exit one up here. I think it's exit one, and there it takes you out through 82 that goes towards Tuscaloosa. You get over into the middle lane because I do not wish to go on Zelda Road. Folks, this is part of Montgomery. If you've never been to Montgomery, I mean, you do have, what's his name here? Hank Williams. Hank Williams Memorial is here. Big guitar man. His statue is downtown by the river. Been there, done that, seen that. Nothing really big about that. But all I can do is go, honeycomb, won't you be my baby? Honeycomb, won't you be my darling? Well, he bastardized that darn song all to pieces. But anyway, I think that was Hank. I don't know. I'm not sure. Honeycomb. Anyway, this statue's here. Yeah. There's a planetarium here. I've never been to the planetarium here in Montgomery. Oh, wow. Okay. Fascinating place, huh? But as I said a minute ago, Alabama is a net taker of federal funds. Of course, they give to, but net in balance, they receive more than they give. Whereas most blue states give more than they receive. They receive federal funding, but they give more than they receive. Take that, Alabama. Exit O for Day Street. Yes, indeed. I know where that is too. ASU, Alabama State University, right here in the middle, in the heart of Montgomery, Alabama. There are fascinating things in every state. For instance, right here in Montgomery, Alabama, guess what? That big sign back there, but I already knew it. But right here in Montgomery, Alabama, this was the place or the location of the first state house of the Confederacy. It was right here, folks. It was right here. And it's really small. I've been in there. It's really fun. I got Maxwell Air Force Base up here too. Back in the day when I was doing some webinars with strategic leadership and stuff. Now this is more than a decade ago now, long before that. The commander of the Air War College here had all of the JOs, the junior officers, out during their PT, and if they had their headphones in or whatever doing PT and stuff, he would require them to listen to our conversations, our strategic leadership conversations. So I don't know how many people, there were a lot of people went through the War College here, the Air War College at Maxwell Air Force Base. And so every time they had PT out here on the base for their new students at the Air War College, they were listening to me talk. We're taking the Day Street exit, which goes to 82. Yeah. And we make a sharp right-hand turn, and I can actually turn off the navigation system if I can do that while the camera is live streaming. I don't know, just leave it alone. It'll be all right, I guess. Won't hurt anything. Curious to see what's changed in the past 2 years out this road. Probably not a whole heck of a lot. If we'd gone up through Perry Street and Perry Hill Road and ended up in the middle of town, downtown, and then turned along the river, we would have gone right by some of the other main gates to Maxwell Air Force Base. This one takes us by 1-2, but they would, both of those directions would have come out in the same place up here. So I've had a lot of friends go through the Air War College here, and a lot of people I don't know were listening to us. There were 3 of us with the strategic leadership webinar series that we were doing. I had founded it and started and brought together the team that created it and that actually did it and did the talking and the discussion. It was me, Ed Rockhour from the Naval Postgrad School out in Montgomery, California, a physics professor and a thinker really beyond just physics, but theoretical physics. And then also General Wayne Michael Hall, retired commander of Korean forces when he left in '99, retired out of the Army in 1999. At the time, Mike was living in Suffolk, Virginia. I haven't heard from him in a number of years, but he was out in Denton, Texas. I believe that Ed Rockhour is still out in Montgomery, California. Don't know if he's still active with the Naval Postgrad School or not. But, and right here's the entrance to, you can actually turn up here and go to Maxwell Air Force Base over to the right. And right now it is closed off. Got that gate closed. That is really fascinating. They must have just shut that one down entirely. It looked like it's not being used at all. Huh. Interesting. So here we go. Now if we'd come out, if we had followed the other one, gone into town, this road that we're going to run into right down here, this one, the one to my right, this is where you would have come out and merged in here together. So we have been in the same place, basically. And Maxwell Air Force Base is over on the right side of me over here. And, and all the time that I've been here, I can go there as a veteran with access to the PX and stuff there on the base. I can go there, but I've never been there. Never been on the base. I just know that I had a lot of people listening to me. Between me and Mike and Ed, we were talking strategic leadership and what it took. And one of the biggest things we talked about is something I talk about all the time here. Same stuff, over and over and over again. Don't allow yourselves to get stuck in some echo chamber somewhere. Read and study and listen to things and that are outside your wheelhouse, outside of the things that you're used to. Surround yourself with people who do not think like you. Because if you all think alike, it's going to be easy to influence you. And I was telling junior officers back then, more than a decade ago, read broadly. Don't be afraid of reading things that you don't agree with. The thing we don't want are officers and leaders, whether in military or civilian leadership, but we had a lot of people attending our seminars and webinars. who were civilian leaders. And we had a lot of people from all around the world listening in on them. I mean, every major power in the world had somebody who was in attendance at our meetings at some point along the way. I mean, including Russia, including Venezuela, yes, including Saudi Arabia. There were senior officers in all of those places tuning into what we had to say. That kind of scared me just a little bit, because I really felt we were encouraging our uh, future opponents, um, kinetic opponents, and how to think broadly and be able to figure out how to win over us. And I think they may have taken it to heart, because what they did was they started sending all these messages, these things into this country to encourage people to get stuck in their echo chambers. They started creating all this junk coming online that just continued to divide and separate people and put them into groups that separated them from one another and made it harder for us to see things more broadly. And in so doing, we lose our advantages, folks. We lose an advantage. We lose the ability to think critically whenever we start shutting out people we disagree with. And that's why I'm so strongly opposed with what Pete Hegseth is doing in our military right now and in our military academies, what Trump is doing across the country, and what all of these people in this administration are doing. They are running an ideological pure everything. You got military officers right now like Chase Spears, a major in the Army, who will review your social media posts from decades, look at every bit of history you've got online, and to see if you've got any kind of connection to stuff that has to do with things he doesn't like. Like LGBT stuff, or trans stuff, or diversity, equity. They call it DEI because they don't want to have to define what diversity actually means, or what it means to be inclusive, or what it means to be equitable with people and fair with people. No, when you pin them down on what the three words actually mean, well, they're going to go back to, we got to get rid of DEI. And Hegseth goes around going, he says, I am so tired of all of this stuff that says diversity is our strength. And yes, Petey, it is. And what you're creating, Petey, is an echo chamber of people who are just like you, who want to be like you, look like you, think like you, and pray like you even. That is what they're creating. And it will end up destroying us if we don't stop it. We've got to put an end to this administration's efforts to roll back everything that acknowledges our differences. And yeah, we do want our military to move in unison when they need to. But we don't want them to be so stuck in the box they can see beyond the walls of the box that you have created for them. That's what pisses me off. I don't understand people who think that my way is the only true and right way, and your way is just absolutely freaking wrong. Well, you know something? I've used language like that before to describe some things, and one of them has to do with, Petey, you are absolutely freaking wrong. I'm staying in this lane because I know I'm going to have to turn up here on 82. I'm going to turn to the right. I'm not too far away from where I need to turn anyway, so it's coming up. I'm just going to stay here. It's up around this curve and up the hill and just a little bit past that and not very far at an intersection, and I'll turn onto 82. There's a good chance the signal will not hold up out 82, but we'll go as far as I go. It can go until the signal drops out. Anyway, so those are the things that really just get under my skin, because we have people who are trying to operate a purity scam on the whole country and on our military. And I've used this term before, and I'm the one who started this term, okay? If you use this word, make sure you give me credit for it. And I'm serious about that because it's important. I want people to connect back to me on a lot of this stuff. So whenever I say that people are being limbered, if there is an officer in the military who's been in there a while, and they happen to have a pride flag in some image somewhere in the past 10, 20 years in their social media post, and it's on their desk, or they're hugging somebody, or they're talking to somebody who has a trans pride flag on their chest, they'll get lumered. Loomer and Raya Raychek, or whatever her name is, I probably bastardized that name. But you'll have libs of TikTok and Chase Spears, Major Spears, and Laura Loomer, and all these people just jumping on the bandwagon to get these people kicked out of the military from their active duty roles because, they're associated with a person who supported DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, or supported trans people, or acknowledged their existence. And that's just as bad. Just acknowledging the fact that we exist is bad for your career. When you can be lumered, you can be lured in this military today, folks. All they do is they just call up, or put a post on social media out there, and they've done it. I've watched it happen. They'll go, "Oh, look at this person. They've got pronouns in their bio," and I'm going, "Yeah, whether you put them there for yourself or not, but you have them anyway." It's 91 miles to Tuscaloosa, out 82. Oh yeah. And I don't know. Oh, there's a speed limit sign. It says 55. And they've improved this quite a bit. This looks better. It used to be like a two-lane messed up construction site right here. But they have definitely turned it into something that looks better. Phew, thank goodness for that. I wonder how long if they've gone all the way over this little hill. They've been working on this for years to get this fixed. Let's see. I haven't been here in, like I said, a couple years now. I haven't been out on this place for probably 2 or 3 years. And what do we have right there? Oh, I don't know what this is. Anyway, this used to be a 2-lane road over there, and it was messed up, folks. It was bad shape. Bad shape. I'd love to see this as a 4-lane road all the way into Tuscaloosa, but it turns into a 2-lane road and goes for miles and miles through Clanton County and all those places out through. I mean, this looks good now. I mean, this looks really good. They've done a good job here. But anyway, so nobody wants to be lumered. Yeah, my word, my term. That means identified by the rats out there who are scouring your social media posts to see if you have anything in your social media that can associate you with those crazy trans people or DEI stuff, or if you use the word like intersectionality, oh my God, that's like horrible, bad thing, bad. It could get you fired. And if you even talk about somebody like Judith Butler, if you utter the name Judith Butler in your conversations and you're not doing it derisively, well, oh, lo and behold, they will point that out to somebody and get you the freak fired. Or Kimberly Crenshaw. How about that one? If you know who Kimberly Crenshaw is, and you're talking about her in any kind of way that is not derisive, then you can be fired too. Yes, you can, and they will. They'll absolutely turn your life upside down to get you out of their way because they are so offended by people who don't think like them, love like them, believe like them. All those different things that are just so butt ugly hurting to them. Oh my God, they're just so bad off. Such bad words. Don't even word go with that. They will get you limbered over it. Yep, do you know that name, Kimberly Crenshaw? Do you know who that is? She's the lawyer type person, the academic, who come up with this idea of intersectionality and wrote several books about it. I've read her books. I've studied her books. I've studied her stuff. I know about some of that stuff. That was some of the very first things I studied when I was pursuing my second degree in psychology. Yeah, I studied about Kimberly Crenshaw and Judith Butler and other types of queer thinkers and people who are pushing the envelope of understanding to be more welcoming and accepting of people who are different than themselves. to help us understand things and see things more broadly and not to be offended by every darn little thing that comes your way. Oh my God. It's such a horrible world that you have to hear people talk about things like, you know, gay people, lesbian people, and lo and behold, transgender people, or even, oh my God, there's trans kids. Watch out. It's dumb. It's just dumb. These kids are born that way. It's not a social contagion, nothing like that. That is just such crap. That's not the way it works, folks. It's not the way it works at all. Let's see who's commented on this thing. Don't know for sure. Oh, Johnny, right now I am getting about 50% positive reporting about the military admirals, generals standing up and telling their troops to not follow an illegal order. Good. Junie, I don't know when you wrote that, but thank you. Absolutely, yes. There are some who are going to stand up. Most will be retired. Most of the people who are on active duty, they're going to try to keep their mouths shut for now because they know they can do more on the inside than the outside. And but the problem is, an illegal order is difficult to define at best. It's a difficult thing to put your hand on. You're going to have this administration saying that it is a legal order, and then somebody else will go around saying, no, that's not a legal order. You should have done that. So basically what it amounts to is it's just going to end up in court. They're going to go try to define what word is all over again. Yep. So anyway, right now I am on the 2-lane version of Highway 82. It picks up 4-lane again. I want to get into Tuscaloosa County. It stays. There's a section, I think near Brentwood, somewhere around there, where it turns into a brief 4-lane little section. But for the most part, it stays 2-lane road all the way, most of the way to Tuscaloosa County. And thank goodness I don't have to hear my navigator kind of say, stay on highway in the right lane on Highway 82 for the next 100 miles. So speed limit up through here is generally 55, but I think everybody pushes the envelope on that one. You do 55, they're going to run you flat over. You're going to be run over flat, or however you want to say that. There's a lot of stuff out through here. I mean, it's pretty out through here, but one thing you can do is when you can spot when and where, you can spot the paths of tornadoes. There were, I don't know about right now. I don't know what it looks out through here. You're going to have to start getting serious because it's getting serious out there. Joking around about these people is no joke. That's true, Junie. I get it. Yes, I do. I don't know how to get serious with them though anymore because it just doesn't seem to be. It doesn't have an impact on a broader impact. We need to bring a lot of people with us into this conversation. And I do a lot of humor kind of things and pointing stuff out like that. Yeah, I do. But I don't know of any way to do it because there are so few of us and our allies are scattering to the wind. And the people who you think would be an ally aren't. They're protecting their skin. There's seriousness. Let me put it this way. There is dead serious. I'm dead serious. There's deadly seriousness in what I'm saying to everyone and how we need to impact things and be prepared for change. But I think nibbling at the sides of it, basically this is what I think really, is we're in the middle of this cycle of a conservative reset, and it's important for us to push back against it, and to push back in a way that does not put a bullseye on us, or if our actions will draw, uh, will make the entire community look bad, the entire population of trans people. If our actions can be used to further villainize or to capture or justify any other kind of behaviors against us that puts us in insane asylums or stuff like that. If those actions of these individuals out there can do that, it will be used against us in that way. So we have to be really circumspect in all this. We've got to be really careful about how we respond to all this stuff, because we don't want to be the reason why we're all rounded up. And that person out there in Portland, that Julie Winters person who went after an ICE agent with a knife, a trans person, a month or so ago. No. We don't need to be the ones out there doing stuff like that. No one needs to be doing stuff like that. No one. Period. Throwing rocks at ICE vehicles? No. Spitting in the faces of these officers out there? No. If you're a trans person doing those kind of things, you are going to cause life to be miserable for all of us. Every single one of us will pay the price for that one person's doing stupid crap. That doesn't mean we can't go out and do things. That doesn't mean we can't participate in protests of any kind. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just don't become the poster child that gets all of us tagged. And they're going to go after everyone. I mean, they won't just stop at transports up here in the middle of the road. Okay. People walking down the road. I got a cowboy in Alabama. Guess what? Cowboys were, anyway, so whatever. So yeah, there's a time and a place for all that kind of thing, but I got to figure out a way to talk to a broad audience to encourage people to try to be circumspect about what we're doing, and try to protect your skin out here, protect what we have as much as we possibly can, just to get through this period of this conservative reset. This is by far the worst conservative reset that has ever occurred in this nation. So my signal is going to go in and out a lot up here because I'm going out in the boonies. If it does it too much, I'll just stop the show and then pick it up again a little bit later. But anyway, so like I was talking about earlier, for instance, we can go after, I think we should be pointing out the absurdity of things like what Chloe Cole is doing, demanding that all transition-related care, gender-affirming care for anyone, children on up, needs to stop, because that's not a true statement for the entire community. I mean, it's not. Like I said before, it's like my shoulder right here. This shoulder hurts from the surgery that was done a year and a half ago. So it would be absolutely absurd of me to go around saying that just because my shoulder hurts, we ought to ban the procedure entirely across the whole country for everyone. You know how absurd that is? That's just plain crazy, right? But that's what Chloe is doing. And it's been picked up by the right, been picked up by all these people over here on the right who are absolutely amplifying that message. But they will not stop at just stopping trans care for kids. They will do it for adults too. And we know that. What happened to one person doesn't necessarily mean that it applies to every single person in a country. I mean, I can see right now what people would say if I went around saying we need to stop all rotator cuff surgeries because I don't know what's going on right here. There was an accident to the car right there.